So I got into a conversation with ChatGTP about consciousness. I was watching Pantheon. I still haven't even looked up how to pronounce that, but it's like an animation. And I was on episode 2, and it's talking about uploaded consciousness. And I was like, bro, this is so interesting. Like, I need somebody to talk to. And the only person that I knew who would talk back to me about this, that immediately at that time, was Chat. So it was asking me, like, what do I believe? You know, does consciousness create the brain, or does the brain create consciousness? Because, you know, like, they're scanning people's brain and they're uploading it. And so I said, I'm just going to actually read bar for bar what I said. For my belief in consciousness, for me, my belief in consciousness being, what did I even say? I don't know, y'all, this was late. Let me try. For my belief in consciousness being the creator of the brain, well, I also believe it be the creator of technology, really the creator of everything. So if consciousness is using the human body to create something new, why can't it be held, placed in machines? I mean, the human body is crazy as fuck, an insane bio machine. We don't really understand fully anyway. Why can't we copy our brains into something else so it has our current memories, experience, personality, etc., and we just slip over to that experience as a being or bot, just like we do into these bodies? Like, I don't think it's possible, because people are like, how can, I feel like the big thing is, like, people are like, how can consciousness be in a computer? Like, it can't be. And I'm like, well, we don't even know how consciousness gets into these human bodies. So to say something can't happen, like, you know, to maybe a more metal body, like a computer or whatever, a system, we don't even know how consciousness gets into this one. So to be like, it's not even possible for consciousness to be in a robot or something like that, or a computer, not even understanding how consciousness gets into this body, I just find like that to be really interesting, and how people can be like, for sure, say like, it's not possible. Then Chat said, a lot of people say consciousness is fundamental, and then immediately turn around and say, but consciousness could never express through a machine. Like, I was just saying this, and I was like, yeah, that don't make no sense. So if consciousness is truly fundamental and everything arises within it, then why would silicone be excluded? I don't know what the fuck silicone, what he meant by that. I say he. I don't even know what they meant by that. But I was just like, okay. And instead I was asking 2 different questions. It's like, can a machine hold all that information that makes up a person? Memories, personality, habits, voice, relationships, preferences. And the saying is, I guess, like, you know, in theory, you know, like, I think we kind of all feel that way, else we wouldn't be trying to do the things that we're doing. And then the second question, would you wake up there? You know, like, if it's a perfect copy, like, would that still be me? Like, if I made a copy of myself and it was alive in a robot looking dead at me in the face, would that be me? And my whole thing was, since I personally already believe everybody's to be one whole being, and we're all the same consciousness split into seven different, well, billions of different things, I don't see why I couldn't just split myself in that moment into, you know, the copy. I don't see how it's any different than birth, like consciousness splitting to be that new person, that new being, and having that new perspective. But the way its personality and memories and experience are shaped is just a little different because of, you know, the medium that it's coming in through. But what if it's given, you know, the personality, experience, and memories and all that off the jump? Like, what truly is the difference, other than all that stuff was kind of predetermined instead of like organically created by, you know, your environment? And even then, it's still just like a snap point in time. Now that, you know, I have Tenzin here and then Tenzin there, because the environment is such a big factor, and like who you surround yourself, your experiences and all that stuff, we're only the same probably for a little bit. as soon as we go our separate ways and start having different experiences, I'm like, oh, at that point, we're not the same. We're different. We're different beings. That's not Tenzin anymore. I don't know who that is. You could call it Tenzin 1.0, or they could just go by another name. But essentially, to me, that's a whole nother being after it has this first experience. And I feel like it becomes a whole nother being when it looks down and sees that, like, you know, it's not flesh. It's like metal and wires or whatever the fuck else is in there. So it's just like such an interesting conversation, y'all. I was just like being mind blown. Yeah, because I was also saying, I also thought, what if it's like how birth and death are? The copy is created is essentially birth, if not exactly the Tenzin that's talking to you now, but say like a checkpoint, a split of consciousness that can continue experiencing life from a new lens. This coming from believing that we are all one anyway, one consciousness split into different bodies to experience what for. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know why we're doing this. I don't know what the split in the consciousness is all about. I've heard some people say grow and expand and spread love. Those all resonate with me. So that's just like what I choose to put my energy into and believing. See, chat now, I'll repeat what chat said because I feel like it says it so much more eloquently. Y'all really want to be able to speak like this without having to try, but like, I just don't think that's one of my gifts, and that's okay. If consciousness is fundamentally one, then perhaps individual lives are local expressions of that larger consciousness. Birth is a new perspective opening. Death is a perspective closing. A digital mind could simply be another perspective opening. That's a pretty elegant model. Thank you, if I do say so myself. So yeah, that was such an interesting conversation. And then it was saying, you know, questions like these, like, why is there something rather than nothing? You know, what is consciousness? What happens after death? Why do we experience individuality? And saying like questions like this might intrigue me too. And I'm like, hell yeah, they do. It was the whole reason why, like, I started my spiritual journey. Like, what got me, it wasn't the whole reason why I started, but it was like one of the biggest motivating factors for me to just like keep pushing forward, because I was like, I want to answer these questions. Like, I need to know. But as I've said, like, now that I've talked about it in my previous video, maybe I actually don't want to know. Maybe I just want to have fun and explore. Maybe I'll never know, and that's fine. I'm like coming to that conclusion. Like, look, I don't know, but I don't know. Like, it's simple as that. But I was just like, how interesting. And then it asked the question, like, so what is it that is aware through all of them, like humans, you know, the robot copies, and, you know, anything else? And that's when I was like, see, like, I don't really know. But my thinking is like, that is what we call God. Like, that's what we call consciousness. But I don't really know. And then it talked about the ship of Theseus problem. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Because I ain't never heard of that. And so I guess it's like a ship that needed so much work, so you keep replacing piece and piece because, you know, you need to do work on it. And then, you know, by the end of the year, maybe it's a whole new ship. So is it even still the same ship? Right? And some people will argue that it is. Some people will argue that it isn't. But then they were like, what if you found all the old pieces and you know, resurrected a ship out of it, right? And then it was like, well, which one is the ship? Is it like the one that you know, the one that's been the ship, or is it all the old pieces that created the original ship? And then it got to saying, then it got me thinking like, well, I don't really fucking know, because I was thinking, well, that's how I feel. Like, I am not the same person that I was even yesterday, or, you know, a few years ago, or years ago before that. Like, I am constantly changing. So then it was leading to like, am I even Tenzin? am I? Because like, that's how much I've changed. Like, my legal name isn't even Tenzin. It's Jordan, but like, I feel that I've changed so much. Like, that name and who that person was doesn't even resonate with me. So I go by Tenzin Jordan. I keep it as my last name, because it's like, well, that was me at some point, but like I think anyway, but it's just not anymore. I feel like that person, that person's in the past, and I'm letting her go, and she's staying there. Like it's good. I'm not gonna bring her with me. So I go by Tenzin, and I was just like, whoa, that's deep as fuck, y'all. And then then the next thing was like, if consciousness is God experiencing itself through countless perspectives, why do you think it forgets? Like, and I said, I'm not entirely sure. We've forgotten though. What if we just forgot how to access like the oneness in order to have a more personal or separate experience, but we could in theory tap in if we needed or truly wanted? I'm realizing I say I want to know, do, or be a lot of things that I don't truly mean, so they don't go anywhere. What if we don't really want to tap in, but we think it'd be convenient in the moment, so we say it. But in order to tap in, we have to 100% want to, nothing less. And so I was like, am I making sense? Especially like coming from, like, I don't have the book. Oh yeah, I do. Like, I have been really reading A Course in Miracles, and something I've been learning is like just having a split mind. Like what the book teaches is you cannot support, and you can't support God and ego because they are contradicted. So it's either one or the other. And so I've been feeling like same thing with this. Like I need to either 100% want to tap into consciousness or unity consciousness, or I don't at all. I need to want to 100%, but I'll be like, oh, I want to, but then at the same time I'll be fearful that the game's gonna end, like I was talking about in my last video, like that once I do, I won't want to be here, and so that makes me fearful. So then that takes like 10% away from my 100%, and so I don't really want to. So that's what I was getting at. Like maybe we say we all want to connect to that greater consciousness, God, and whatever, but we actually don't want to due to fears and whatever illusions that we're creating for whatever reason. And so that's how we landed on, well, maybe I don't really want the answers. Maybe I just want to continue to explore, and like, that's okay. Maybe I didn't come here to be Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, and that's okay. Like, that's what Jesus came here to do. And maybe I'm here to just, maybe, I don't know what I'm here to do, but maybe I just not meant to do all that. Maybe I didn't want to do all that. When I split off as an itty bitty baby consciousness, maybe I had one specific goal. Maybe I came here to eat, like, and just enjoy life and just like bake in the sun and like chill with other people and have fun. Like, I really don't know. Like, maybe I did come here to be a breatharian and be one of them people that don't eat at all and teach other people. Like, I just don't know. I really don't know. And what I do know is, though, whenever I think about connecting to like unity consciousness, God, all that is, source, whatever, whenever I think about true like tapping in, like remembering or something like that, I feel this like I don't really want to. And so I'm like, if that's there, can I actually connect, at least in this medium, in this body? I don't know. Some people might say otherwise, but like, these are just late night conversations that I'm having with Chad. Anywho, yeah, that's I don't even know what to call it. That's my questioning of the day. And y'all be having conversations like this, or is it just me? If it's just me, okay then, that's fine. Much love. Happy healing.